Look out! It's a Sparrow Pictures.
Snipit. It's definitely out of the three. There's three Wonka movies because there's the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Then, of course, there's the Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is actually the name of the book. Is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's true.
And then there's just now Wonka. We just like, we'll just let's drop all the descriptors and everything else, and we're just gonna just call it Wonka because we don't need to say anything other than that. Just Wonka and a hat, and you're in. You know what you're going in for. But what I thought was cool was that they did. This was a prequel to the original film, and they did a good job of like, you know, kind of these little nods, these nostalgic little moments. Yeah. There was a couple of the songs from the original film made a reprise in this film, and then there was new songs. I didn't know that it was going to be a musical going into it.
I did know only because Alex had warned me and said, "Hey, just so you are aware, this is a musical that you're going to be going in to watch." So I was already set up with that expectation in mind.
Yeah. So but it is interesting because there was an article that I saw recently that it said why do we have to trick people into going and watching musicals? Because I didn't know. I knew that there was a new Mean Girls coming out. I've never even seen the first one. Don't care. But this one apparently is a musical, and people were kind of complaining about that. Wonka, same kind of a thing. There were people that showed up, didn't know that it was a musical. And why is it that you think that we have to sell something as if it's not a musical?
I don't know. I don't know what their marketing tactics were for Mean Girls. I think that's interesting because I didn't realize that Mean Girls was a musical for the second one.
Right, it just looked like it was going to be a remake. And you're like, why are you remaking it?
The original one with my daughter Georgia and a bunch of 12-year-olds. I think we went for her 12th birthday, and I was sitting there going, "Oh my goodness, I'm a horrible mom. What am I doing here?" And she loved Lindsay Lohan, and
didn't it get turned into a Broadway thing? That's what
Mean Girls?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We can check that out.
Because if you know, you can go ahead and comment.
Yeah, comment below. Let us know if it was in a Broadway show.
Because if it was, then that would make sense that they turned the Broadway into a musical.
Yeah. So that would be interesting because then if you're already a Mean Girls fan, then if you knew that, then you might be expecting something. I think for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Wonka to be turned into a musical wasn't too far off because there were so many musical numbers in the previous films anyway. Right. I mean, you've got the Oompa Loompa song. You got her turning into a giant blueberry. You've got all of these different...
I've got the golden ticket and, dancing around.
The whole thing. Yeah. So for them to do this, it didn't bother me at all. I didn't go into it thinking, well, they've totally just ruined the whole thing. I felt like, oh, that was an interesting take.
Actually felt like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I like Johnny Depp for the most part. I think Johnny Depp, the characters he plays are always fun and interesting, and Jack Sparrow and all of that. But I didn't care for the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory film as much. I have a love-hate relationship with Tim Burton.
I knew you were going to say that.
Just because I think he's a little too gothic at times. I think it's just whatever, and I'm just not my style.
Yeah.
But I was kind of actually disappointed. And I remember that there wasn't any songs in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, was obviously a musical and had such great, you said Oompa Loompa, or In a World of Imagination. There's just like iconic songs that have woven their way into the culture, and I think they did a really good job of bringing those back into play.